Hello, hello. Welcome back to class 12 chemistry. Today's topic chemistry in everyday life. Part 2 chemicals in food and cleansing agents. Under this chemicals in food, why chemicals are added to food? What are the importance? Why we are adding chemicals to the food? For what purpose? I am going to explain now. The chemicals are added to the food for their preservation, enhancing their appeal, adding nutritive values in them. Main categories of food additives are food colors, flavors and sweeteners, fat emulsifiers and stabilizing agents, flavor improvers, anti-staling agents and bleaches, antioxidants, preservatives, nutritional supplements such as minerals, vitamins and amino acids. Food additives added either to increase the shelf life of stored food or for cosmetic purpose. So these are the chemicals we are utilizing in food material. Purpose is this one, their preservation, enhancing and retinue nature. So in these all kinds we are adding food material to the food. Artificial sweetening agents. So when a little bit of amount of artificial sweeteners, when you add, you will get a 1000 or 100 times heavier than sugar. So these are all artificial sweetening agents in soft drinks, bakery items, most of bakery foods, they are adding artificial sweeteners only instead of sugar. Let us see what are the artificial sweetening agents. The chemical substances which produces sweetness instead of natural sweeteners like sucrose are called artificial sweeteners. We are using chemicals instead of a natural sweetener, sucrose instead of sugar. That chemical here is called as artificial sweeteners. Example, these have a great value in controlling calories and are used even diabetic persons. Instead of directly using sugar, when you use artificial sweetener, it will be controlled diabetic sugar. The important artificial sweeteners are aspartame, saccharin and sucralose, alitima. These are the important artificial sweeteners. Sucralose is 600 times, saccharin is 550 times, Ultima is 2000 times, aspartame is 100 times sweeter than sucrose. Orthosulfobenzamide is called saccharin. Trichloro derivative of sucrose is sucralose. Methyl ester of dipeptide formed from phenylalanine and aspartic acid is aspartame. So these 5 different kinds of artificial sweeteners obtained from which component they are explaining in the 5th point. Orthosulfobenzamide. From this we are taking a saccharin. Saccharin is the artificial sweetener which is 550 times heavier than sugar. The same way trichloro derivative of sucrose is sucralose. Sucralose artificial sweetener is obtained from derivative of sucralose, trichloro derivative of sucrose. The same way methyl ester of dipeptide formed from phenylalanine and aspartic acid is aspartame. Saccharin and aspartame are most widely used artificial sweeteners. Saccharin passes out through urine unchanged. Thus, it does not add any calories. Aspartame is used in cold foods, soft drinks, and not used in cooked items as dissociated at high temperature. This aspartame artificial sugar we should not use for cooking purpose. It should be used for in using cold cool drinks. Ultima is a high potency sugar. It is stable, but control of sweetness of food is difficult. Yes, Ultima is a high potency sugar. It is stable, but control of sweetness of food is difficult. You can't control. The name and structure of artificial sweetener is sucralose is the structure of this. Sucralose, you know that sucrose formula is C12H22O11. Here the sucralose. The second artificial sweetener is Ultima, and one more structure, that is saccharin, and another structure is aspartame and phenylamine methyl ester part. So this is the aspartame. These are the 4 important artificial sweeteners. Coming to the food preservations, food preservative, what are the chemicals we are utilizing? For food preservative are the chemical substances used to preserve food stuff for a long time. They prevent loss of color, flavor, freshness by preventing the growth of microorganisms. They do not have nutritive values. These act as antioxidants. It means it won't get spoiled. And emulsifiers, anti-foaming agents. Example, BHA, BHT, citric acid, sodium citrate. So no confuse. BHA, BHT means butylated hydroxytoluene. BHA means butylated hydroxyanisole. These are the food preservatives. And antioxidants retard the action of oxygen on food and preserve it. These are all also acting as antioxidant. When oxygen is added to the food material, when those food material undergoes oxygen and get rancid, bad smell will come, undergoes oxidation. So to prevent the oxidation, that is only called as antioxidant, which all these preservative acting as an antioxidant. The antioxidant action is due to the fact that they react easily with oxygen, prevents the action of oxygen on foodstuff. They prevent the generation of free radical which damages the food. So these are the important use of antioxidants. Some antioxidants like sulfur dioxide are used to preserve wine, beer, dry fruits and vegetable, etc. When BHT, butylated hydroxytoluene, is also acting as an antioxidant, at the same time BHA, butylated hydroxyanisole, is mixed with citric acid or ascorbic acid, their effective further increases. So it acting as more strong accident. The most important food preservative is sodium benzoate, C6H5COONA. Salts of proponic acid and sorbic acid are also used as food preservatives. Edible colors are generally dyes. These are harmful for children and asthma patients. So transene is a toxic, whereas carotene is a safe. Some of the colors names, we have 2 colors we given, transene, tetrazene. Tetrazene is a toxic, whereas a carotene is safe. Topic 3, cleansing agents. Soaps and detergents are used as a cleansing agents. These improve cleansing properties of water and help in removal of fats which bind other materials to the fabrics or skin. Example for cleansing agents, soaps. Soaps are made by saponification, so that is called soap formation. Example, alkaline or KOH, sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. In presence of KOH and NaOH, the hydrolyze of glycerol esters of higher fatty acids like Stearic, oleic and palmitic acids. Very simple. Stearic acid, oleic acid and palmitic acid, which are called as long chain carboxylic acid. Long chain carboxylic acids means the carboxylic acid formula is COOH. If only one CH3 there, it is acetic acid. Instead of one CH3, CH3, CH2, 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 like that many are there after that. COOH is there. This is long chain carboxylic acid. This long chain carboxylic acids are known as fatty acid, fatty acids. Fatty acids example here stearic acid, oleic acid and palmitic acid. The long chain carboxylic acid. When long chain carboxylic acid undergoes saponification, it means water and reacts with water and NaOH, you will get a soap. Let us see. Soaps are the sodium or potassium salts of higher fatty acids. Potassium salts of higher fatty acids are soft to skin than sodium salts. This is the manufacturing of soap. Soft soap, glycerol or glycerin soap, it is costly. So I'll see here, this is the fatty acid, long chain carboxylic acid fatty acid, C17H35COO, CH2 like that. It is a fatty acid, that is stearic acid. This fat reacts with sodium hydroxide. You will get a C17H35COO, Na. This is known as soap. This is known as sodium stearate is known as soap. So this is the preparation of soap through the saponification, means base hydrolysis. Types of soaps. What are the types of soaps we are using in our day-to-day life? Basically, all soaps are made by boiling fats or oils with suitable hydroxides. Variations are made by using different raw material. Example, toilet soaps, prepared by using better grades of fats and oils, and care is taken to remove excess alkali. Floating soaps, soaps that floats in water, are made by beating tiny air bubbles before their hardening. Transparent soaps, these soaps are made by dissolving the soap in ethanol and then evaporating the excess of solvent. Medicated soaps, substances of medicinal values are added in some soaps, that is, deodorants are added. Shaving soaps contain glycerol to prevent the rapid drying. A gum called rosin is added with foam sodium resinate and it lathers well. Laundry soap contain fillers like sodium resonate, sodium silicate, borax and sodium carbonate. These are the different kinds of soaps. Based upon using of raw material, different soaps will be formed. Soap chips, they are made by a running of thin sheet of melted soap into a cool cylinder and a scraping of the soap in small broken into pieces. Small pieces. Soap granules are dried and minute soap bubbles. So these are about soap chips. And then soap powder and scoring soaps. They contain some soap, a scoring agent, abrasive, such as a powdered pumic or finely divided sand, and a builder like sodium carbonate, trisodium phosphate. Builders make the soap act more rapidly. So soap powder and scoring soaps. The cleaning action of soap is due to the soap lather, which reduce the interfacial tension and solubilize the oily dirt into water by emulsification. Hard water cannot form lather, that we know with the soap, and hence soaps are not functional in hard water. Hence we need detergents. Why do soaps not work in hard water? Hard water contains calcium and magnesium ions. These ions form insoluble calcium magnesium soaps, respectively, when sodium or potassium soaps are dissolved in hard water. When sodium potassium soaps, when dissolved in hot water, you will get a scum. That scum is called as what? They are saying calcium and magnesium soap, respectively. Because of forming of scum instead of lather, so hot water, these soaps are not suitable for washing clothes. When soap is dissolved in calcium chloride, which is present in the water, it forms like this insoluble calcium stearate, that is a soap scum. These ionizable soaps separate as a scum in water and are useless as a cleansing agents. In fact, these are hindrance to good washing because the precipitate adheres onto the fiber of the clothes as a gummy mass. Hair washed with hard water looks dull because of this sticky precipitate. Dyes does not absorb evenly on cloth washed with soap using a hard water because of this gummy mass. Anyhow, the soaps are not suitable to wash clothes in hard water because of we need a detergents. Synthetic detergents. Synthetic detergents are cleaning agents with all properties of soap, but they contain no soap. Detergents can form a lather extensively both with hard and as well as soft, and even in ice and cold water. Detergents are of three categories. Number one is anionic detergent, two is cationic detergent, and third one is non-ionic detergent. Anionic detergents, the anion part is involved in cleaning action. These are used in household cleaning agents and in toothpastes. Sodium salts of sulfonated long chain alcohols are hydrocarbons. Example, sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium butyrylbenzene sulfates, which are used as anionic detergents. This is about the manufacturing of anionic detergent. Lauryl alcohol is treated with sulfuric acid. You are getting lauryl hydrogen sulfate and undergoes hydrolysis in presence of water, that is aqueous. You will get a sodium lauryl sulfate, that is anionic detergent. Butyrylbenzene, when treated with sulfuric acid, you are getting butyrylbenzene sulfonic acid. When it undergoes base hydrolysis, you are getting the detergent, that is sodium butyrylbenzene sulfonate. Like these two different sulfonates that are detergent we can manufacture. Cationic detergents. The cationic part is involved in cleaning action. Quaternary ammonium salts of amines with acetate, chlorides or bromides as anionic. Cetyl trimethylammonium bromide. Cetyl trimethylammonium bromide used in hair conditioners. This is the structure of cetyl methylammonium bromide. Non-ionic detergents. These are used in dishwashing, ester of stearic acid and polyethylene glycol. This is a non-ionic neutral detergent, which is obtained from the reaction between stearic acid and polyethylene glycol. Detergent cause pollution of water by forming foams. The branched long chain part of them undergoes biodegradation, very slow only. Unbranched chains biodegrades more easily and hence are better, which can avoid pollution. So these detergents, due to the formation of foam, they are responsible for pollution. Classification of drugs. This already we have seen. Classification based on pharmacological effect, which are analgesics, antiseptics, anti-humanics and antibiotics. Classification based on drug action. Antihistamines, cardiovascular drugs, sedatives and hypnotics. Classification based upon chemical structure. Sulfonamide, esters, alcohols. And also classified based upon molecular targets. Target is nucleic acid, our target is carbohydrate, our target is lipids, our target is protein. Based upon molecular targets, we are divide the drugs, nucleic, anti-nucleic, medicine and anti-target carbohydrates, So which exactly that particular organ only the medicine will work out. So in this way, different kinds of classification we have. Now we are going to learn about the drug target interaction.